Hello and welcome to Michael Pepper Tech. Today we have the Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3, and I want to talk to you about my thoughts on these two devices and my experience with them so far, and touch on some things that maybe people haven't really thought of. So, some people kind of look at these products and they think, this is the future. We have the Fold with its beautiful outer display where, I can go in and I can be searching in Google and I open it up and I get a much larger view of what I'm doing. And that's one type of device for the type of person who really wants something that fits in their pocket but can fold and become a larger device, yet when it's closed you can still answer some text and, scroll through web and Twitter and do some basic tasks on it and do a lot of things without having to necessarily open it. And then you open it maybe for media consumption. You're perusing your subscriber feed or your home feed or whatever you're doing there on YouTube, or maybe, checking your email, or, perusing on Amazon, and you want that larger real estate. Or you are doing a bit of multitasking and you really want that side by side. You get that larger, beautiful display to be able to have two apps kind of in the size that would be almost like a full size of a phone individually on each. You close it up and you put it away. Or you're the type of person who wants to be able to quickly get to notifications, which, as you can see, I don't have any right now. Check the time, the date, check your weather maybe, check your steps, see if you have any events coming up, music playing. If you have any alarms there, you can set a timer. Things that you might want to be able to do real quick. And you can even do some quick replies to some messages. But then when you open it up, you have a normal size device. And you're the type of person that really, you don't do a ton of split screen stuff. You don't do a ton of multitasking. Of course, you can still do that because this is Android. But you just want a normal size phone. And you want to be able to close that up, tuck it away in your pocket, and go on about your day. That's kind of the differences between these devices, are just the type of user. But then it goes a little bit more in depth than that, because while both of these devices have flex mode, I found that how that works on the Flip, in the way that, let's say you are on YouTube watching your favorite creator's live stream and you want to comment, being able to kind of go into this mode here and be able to type in the comments down below while your phone is still narrow that way, and be able to have the view above, is really handy. Whereas doing something similar on this device, the flex mode is in this wider aspect. So if you have big hands, it might be okay. And yeah, you get a nice wide view of what you're watching here, but it's just kind of two different feels for doing similar things. Same thing comes to perhaps when you are going to take a photo here, and as you can see, we have this mode where you can be taking a photo and you can have the controls down here. That takes place on both devices, but mind you, in this one, you're in portrait, where when you open the Fold to do a similar task, you got to keep in mind that you have a landscape view of what you're seeing. So those are some things to keep in mind. Now, there is a way to enable a mode so that you can have a landscape view on this as well of what you're doing. And I will be putting that in kind of a tips and trick video at some point here. So when it comes to these devices, my experience so far is that, well, the battery life on the Z Fold 3 isn't as great as something like an S21 Ultra, an iPhone 13 Pro, or 13 Pro Max. It gets me through my day. It's adequate enough. And if I want a device where I want to just put one device in my pocket that's going to be able to be used as a normal phone while it's open, but I want to be able to open it and watch videos, or I'm going to be doing some multitasking, watching a live stream and commenting on Twitter, checking my emails, comparing websites. This is really nice to have to be able to open. Working on spreadsheets, typing out content ideas. Where on the other hand, if I want to have a device that just kind of folds and fits in the pocket, that's small, but opens to be like a normal phone, because I really just want that normal phone experience, this is nice to have. The Z Flip 3 is. But on the other hand, battery life has been not so good. If I'm just watching videos, I found that it can be okay. I can get a good 6-7 hours of screen on time. But when I'm doing what I normally do throughout the day, where I am, recording videos, I'm on Twitter, I'm on social media, I'm browsing online, I'm scrolling through a lot of stuff. Even if I turn it to 60 hertz, I'm maybe lucky to get 4 to 5 hours of screen on time. And standby time has been not so great on this. And now, keep in mind, I've only had this for about a week, so it's finally started to learn my usage over the last couple days. And I've had the Z Fold 3 since launch day. And so these are just kind of my thoughts on these two devices. So far with usage, I found that some of the things are very similar, but as I pointed out with those flex mode things, they're very different. And I haven't really seen people compare them in that way. And so I thought I would bring that to you guys. And now I want to kind of talk to you guys up front, face to face, about where I think these products are going. And let's get into that. So as you can see, these are two very different use case devices that we have gone over here with the Z Fold 3 and the Z Flip 3 5G. And well, I think that they are very unique devices. These are definitely not for everybody. And they are, even if the price comes down, they're a very unique device for very set niches of people. I feel like this device is more for everybody, especially for like the people that just are sending messages and they're on social media and making phone calls, but they're not on their device all the time. They don't really need it as a computer replacement, because the other thing is the Z Flip 3 does not have DeX, while the Z Fold 3 does. And I think part of that is battery, but I think also part of it is surface area and heat dissipation. So when it comes to the future of these devices, I think really it comes down to the ability to pack larger cameras into these things so that you get that capability, because while the cameras are okay, it currently takes a standard kind of candy bar style device to really have the best cameras on a device. Whether that's something like the Pixel 6, an S21 Ultra, an iPhone 13 Pro, which is what this is being recorded on, or whatever your given device is. And then when it comes down to this, I think when the graphene battery technology comes out, that's when we'll see something like this really improved. And so that's kind of my thoughts on these products. And when it comes to whether these are the future, I don't think they are yet. And if we really think about it, this is just kind of really an updated version of the flip phone, which has been around forever. And this is kind of the updated version of something like an LG Chocolate, or one of those devices that was around for a while where you had kind of the main screen and then you slid it open to get your keyboard and your advanced functions. And that's kind of what this reminds me of in a way. And so if you like this type of content and kind of these thoughts, let me know down below if you want to see more of this discussion type thing. And also, if you haven't, please subscribe, as it lets me know that you appreciate this content. And of course, like and give that a big thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one.